Welcome to Exploragonians, a travels misadventures podcast. I'm Katie.
And I'm Jordan. What's our deal? What do we got?
Well, we travel around and talk about it.
And we're married. We've been married over 10 years at this point. Wow, I still can't believe you said yes.
All right, moving on.
Explorers, this is the sickest episode we've done yet.
That's right. Jordan sounds not great.
No, I'm ill. But this week, we're going to the largest island in Thailand. We're going to Phuket. We're going to tell you which Star Wars movie was featured in Phuket and which beautiful race of aliens calls it home.
We're going to talk about not buying coconuts anymore.
We're also going to tell you about an invasion that was diverted because of two plucky sisters in the 1700s.
And could it be that we were in Phuket, Thailand at the same time as somebody else from our super small town?
I thought you were also going to say the reason we were stuck on the tarmac was because of maybe Taylor Swift, maybe Beyonce and Jay-Z. Who knows?
Who knows? But anyway, if you want to hear those shenanigans and hear about what's up with Jordan and his sickness.
He got down with the sickness. Ooh, wow.
Okay. I guess that's it.
Thanks, explorers. See you soon.
1, 2, 3, 4.
What is supporting your lumbar?
Flying bison, little pillow.
Flying bison, little pillow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, very good. So is that you got appas on your back?
What's supporting your lumbar?
I believe it's Monstera, which makes it sound like I'm pressed up against a plant.
Are you?
Hey, you know what, friends, explorers? I would like to tell you right now that this episode is going to be a good reminder for you explorers at home to always have one in the can.
One in the can?
To always have one in the can.
Okay. This sounds like a bathroom episode.
Maybe even two in the can if you're really feeling it.
All right, people. Jordan is sick.
Do you know what in the can means?
I don't know. I mean, in the can, it's in the toilet.
No, in the can is not in the toilet.
Okay, what's in the can?
In the can means it's like ready to go. It's completed.
Who told you this?
I learned that in my script writing classes. Like, oh, always make sure you got some in the can.
Something in the can.
So-
I don't know.
And if we had one in the can, we wouldn't have to be doing this right now.
Okay, well, we don't have one in the can, so we have to do it.
So we're on the can. We're making the can right now.
Okay, Jordan's probably going to have to go to the can.
Why?
Because you're sick. This is what we're talking about.
Okay, I don't have food poisoning. I think I have a cold.
Or COVID or something else.
Okay, well, maybe it's COVID. I did take a COVID test, a test that expired like 2 years ago.
You know, we've taken enough tests to, I think, know
Brain ticklers. They're called brain ticklers.
You know, we know what the test looks like, but it was like the tiniest little faintest line, and you're like, well, they say if it's even a slight line, it's a line.
So, explorers, I'm going to give you COVID through this episode.
I don't know. I'm going to sanitize that mic.
No, I'm the only one who uses it.
All right.
So, yeah, the line was so faint, like, you'd look at it and be like, it's negative. But then I was being, I don't know, is it OCD? I was really hyper-focusing on it. I'm like, is there anything? Is there a hint? A kiss? A kiss of pink?
So I think, yeah, he has a kiss of COVID.
Well,
I don't know. We were at the fair. We talked about
Tillamook County Fair.
Hey, we went to the fair.
Episode 32.
We also went to Portland and were gifted tickets to see a musical.
It was Anne Juliet, for anybody who's interested. Paper-thin characters, fun premise, fun play, musical, jukebox musical, double excuse me.
It was fun, and I feel like to, go hand in hand with this wonderful show was a ton of people coughing, like above average. I just feel like in the lobby, there's like coughs coming from every corner. I mean, it was just like packed. I don't know. I think you picked up something from there. But I don't know.
I also made out with a bunch of people.
In the line to the bathroom.
I was like, hey, you want to do a sickness makeout?
Anyways,
I don't do that.
Well, hopefully Jordan keeps his germs to himself. But I don't know. I'm feeling not like a tickle, but like a, what did I say?
Pulsating.
No. Tingle.
Tingle.
Not a tickle, but a tingle in my throat.
Well, I feel a tingle, and the tingle tells me to go to Thailand. It's the Thailand tickle.
Oh, a Thailand tingle.
It sounds like a drink. Sounds like
I don't know. I feel like the Thailand tickle sounds like something else too.
It sounds like a massage. I'll get the Thailand tickle.
Okay, we are going to Phuket, Thailand.
which is, I'm going to say, it's one of the places that people often go to when they go to Thailand. It is one of the main touristy hubs.
And I think it's like when you see pictures of Thailand, I think there is this iconic shot, which you and I did not do. But there is this, that like very picturesque. It's like a giant rock.
Okay. It's
Yeah.
like the James Bond Island. Is that Phuket or is it outside of like PP Islands?
What I'm talking about is advertised where it's like, Phuket, go here. But it's like, I mean, I think that you do have to take a boat to go and get there. You know, it's in the fine print, right?
So to get to Phuket, this started, I would say, like the last act of our 3-month Asian honeymoon.
And we had been in Thailand for the first half and then escaped
To many other places.
and gallivanted around. And then we were ending our trip when the islands. So it was like Thailand, you got like the main island, and then down below are the islands. And so we wanted to check out the islands before peacing out. But the bummer part is when we flew back, it was so hot.
We were like a couple weeks before like what's regarded as like the hottest time in Thailand, which coincides with Songkran. I'm not pronouncing that right, but it's like this big festival. It's like a water festival where you just
douse everybody in water.
just in the streets. It's chaos.
It's kind of like a water balloon fight. I don't know, probably not with water balloons.
I think people had squirt guns. I think it's just
Buckets of water.
I would love to have been there for that, but we didn't do a 4-month trip. We only did a 3-month trip.
I know. So we were just there for the hot weather, which we are not equipped for.
Don't love it. So we start in Hong Kong to get to Thailand. So we devised this fun life hack that if we're going to have to do a layover to get from Hong Kong to Phuket, we should probably go to the Singapore Changi Airport, regarded as one of the best airports in the world. So we leave Hong Kong at like 11 a.m. We get to Singapore at like 3 p.m. And then from 3 until like 8:30, we just hang out in the airport.
We're there a long time. I mean, I think we ended up having a wonderful time. And Changi Airport is regarded as like the best airport.
There's like butterfly gardens. There's a big
Movie theater?
Well, I don't know if there's multiple theaters or if there's just the one, but we definitely went and watched Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
And this is definitely dating when we were in this airport because we were watching new movies.
Right. I mean, we were there like 10 years ago.
We were there over 10 years ago, technically now.
Okay, fine. And so this is going to be mostly just like a retelling from our very limited pictures that we took and going off memory, and we kept a journal.
Ooh. So we get into Phuket finally. We get on, well, to get there, we had to reboard a plane from Singapore to Phuket. We get on, and what I had written in the journal was that we had an awkward Russian family behind us, full of, quote, struggling, messy children.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like they were like pounding the seats. I feel like snacks were everywhere. I think they were not emotionally equipped to be on the plane. It made for an unpleasant experience.
See, and I think this is like a strong memory for you. I don't remember this. I think I blocked it out, but I mean, it must have been bad for you to write it in the journal.
I was like, I'm feeling inconvenienced right now.
It's like a burn book.
So, but we get to Phuket. We finally land. At some point, like, air conditioning goes off in the airplane, and it just looks like the plane's on fire.
Yeah, no, we have this video, and I was like, "What's going on here?" It's almost like the smoke machine, right? I mean, it's like, "Ooh, what's happening?" Misters? I don't know.
Or missuses.
Okay, but we land in Phuket, and we are sitting there, and I just have a memory of them getting on like the intercom, being like, you know, there's a delay. We have like a VIP.
It was the VIP thing that.
And we were like, what'd they just say? We got a VIP and we have to wait for their plane to leave before we can like pull up and like unload. So we're like, who's the VIP? But then we found this picture in our pictures, and there was definitely like a giant Taylor Swift. Wow.
Taylor Swift.
Okay.
What was it? What was it?
It was Taylor Swift's private jet.
Well, I don't know. Was it a private jet? I don't think so. I
I
don't think
don't
you
know.
deck out your
I
private
don't know.
jet
That's
with Taylor
true.
Swift
Well, maybe it was. I don't know.
propaganda.
You know, it's weird because I mean, how popular was Taylor Swift in 2015?
She was still popular. She wasn't the meteoric.
Right. I mean, she wasn't as big as she is right now, and
She's also gotten a lot taller.
and she's made a lot more money.
Sure has.
So I don't know.
So
Maybe somebody was just advertising. But regardless, they were like, we have a VIP person who's exiting. I don't know. We were like, what is going on?
I think in the moment and for years after, we assumed it was Beyonce and Jay-Z. And
Yeah, and I don't remember why we thought that.
I
But
think
maybe
we
we'd
had-
read that they were around Thailand somewhere.
Right. And so I feel like that could have been it. You like went on searches on the internet to be like, who was there?
And I might have found something years ago, but I mean, what was popping up today? Not so much. So I don't know. But regardless, we had to wait a while.
Was it Beyonce? Was it Taylor Swift? Was it neither of those people and just someone who had money who was like, I am a VIP? Because the Thais,
right.
I'm gonna say they love one thing, and it's a foreigner that's got some cash.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's true.
we get to Phuket. We finally get off. The VIP leaves. I don't know who they are, where they go.
But they are gone, and we're like, great, because I want to get off this smoking plane.
So I wish it was like a smoking plane. Hey, can you light that up? So we had booked like a one night stay at a hotel nearby because we had landed at like 9:30 at night. But by the time the VIP left, I think it was like 10:30.
Yeah, I think it was just like, let's like just pick a place. You know, I mean, what I thought about when I was reflecting on our time in Phuket, I was like, this is our first time of you and I being in Thailand, and we're actually like on our own.
Right.
Because we had a friend who we stayed with, and like her family and a family friend, you know, it was just like we had people that were looking out for us in our early days of Thailand. And so this time we are on our own, and we're like, all right, island life, we got it.
So we get in and we go through customs and immigration. Again, this is an international airport, the Phuket one. It is so small, so quaint. It is very mellow. We are on island time, baby.
That's right. They're like, come on in, anybody.
Which was odd because every other like customs immigration thing we'd gone through was like your standard, like, what do you got? Where you staying? Where you going? How long you going to be here? When you leaving?
Right.
Even the first time we landed in Thailand, which again was at 12:30 a.m. on New Year's Day of 2015. They were like, they wouldn't let us into the country because we couldn't provide an address or a phone number
Oh, it was bad, you
or
guys.
any finite details because our friend was just like, gave us nothing besides, we will pick you up.
Yeah, it was like, oh, well, who are you staying with? And we're like, we couldn't provide the name, the town, and we couldn't provide anything.
And we had poor internet service because, again, this is apparently we were in the 70s. No internet service, couldn't call them. I think at one point we did attempt to call, but maybe they were like trying to park or we couldn't get a hold of anybody. So we're just standing there. People are just passing us. And I think we have this like partially half-ass filled out document. And we were just like, this is the best we got.
Anyway, they let us in begrudgingly. And then our friends were there to pick us up. But it's not about that. This is about Phuket.
I'm just saying, like, even we could have gone through that experience, been like, oh, maybe this is just how Thailand does things. But
Right.
obviously not, because Bangkok was way more by the book, and then, well, ish. And then Phuket was just basically like, what's up?
Yeah, I think that again, you kind of touched on it. Like, Thailand is pro-tourism, right? They want people to come and visit. They want you to spend money. They want you to have a good time.
Well, especially
So-
Phuket. Phuket has shifted its industry. I think, I don't know, I'd read somewhere that like 90% of their GDP is tourism based. I don't know how accurate that number is, but apparently it was like tin and rubber, like
Man.
once upon a time.
That
Now
makes
it's
sense.
just
That makes sense to me.
right. So it's like
See, and I feel like rubber trees, like we saw that on other islands, but not Phuket. But I mean, they probably still have them. But I mean,
well, Phuket was also semi-mountainous. We just weren't really in those areas. So we get into the country. They're like, welcome. I feel like they asked us nothing when we came in. It was just like, hey, you like being in Thailand? And we're like, sure.
totally.
It was just so chill.
Great. Welcome in. Okay, so then we're going to try to get to our hotel.
Because we don't have internet service. So I had taken a bunch of pictures of like Google Maps, like this archaic version of Google Maps. I'm going off screenshots to get to our hotel, which was called like Phuket airport hotel or something. I think we walk there because, again, like the airport's very chill. It's like just kind of like, it's like out in the jungle, kind of. You kind of get out, we're walking. We get to the airport hotel, but the sign said like airport mansion hotel. And I was like, wait, why was the word mansion there? We go in, we try to check in. We do not have reservations there. And then I think there's like another guy there. Ultimately, come to find out, we are at the wrong hotel.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this isn't our first time being wrong at the wrong hotel. I mean, at this point, I feel like it's kind of our thing. so, so I feel like we're at the wrong hotel, and then
I think they make a phone call. I think we show them like the reservation we do have or the screenshots we have.
I think they take pity, and they're like, oh, you guys. So some guy shows up and then offers to give us a ride.
In his truck.
In his
truck bed, not the cabin of the truck, in the bed.
You guys can be in the back.
Which is, again, it's like 11 o'clock at night. Not the first time we've been in a truck bed to be shepherded from one place to another on a city street in Thailand.
That's true. Again, it's kind of our thing.
So, I mean, the English is poor, but we throw our bags in. I think you and I both are kind of like, did he have a friend who worked at the other place? Was he a friend? We don't know who this guy was.
No, we're not quite sure, but we eventually do make it to the hotel that we were.
Because we get that really nice ride from that guy. Because obviously we were staying in a hotel in the vicinity. We were just, I had input the wrong address.
Well, that's fine.
So yeah, again, really nice that again, it's the hospitality industry. You all kind of know each other, I'm sure, at that point if you're in the area. But it was really nice for this other hotel to just provide someone to give us a free ride. I don't know if the hotel did this or if it was just a dude who was like, I want to help you out.
Yeah, he was probably expecting some money. Did we pay him? I don't know.
I doubt it.
You guys, who knows? But that would have been nice if we did.
I mean, maybe we did. The people of Thailand love a tip.
That's true.
So, yeah, we get to the right hotel and then just stay for the night. And then we end up staying in Phuket City itself, which is the old town. We stay in like the old town area, and that is like known for, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, Sino-Portuguese architecture, which again, I don't have a lot of sense memory with this. I have very vague visions of what this looked like. I mean, kind of like pastel colored, not quite as well kept as Singapore was, but it might have just been like the area we were in.
I kind of feel like it was a little run down, but like charming. And I think that there was parts of it that were like just kind of colorful, but not like Mexico colorful, like vibrant, but more muted. And I mean, I just remember it was so hot, and we were like, uh-oh.
Yeah, and we're again like the town center that we were in, like the main city center of Phuket town. I mean, it's not by the water.
No, you're inland, probably like limited breeze. But we'd been packing around some Costco
Tokyo
Costco truffles, chocolate truffles
that we were using to bait people to give us rides in Japan. Maybe we offered this guy truffles.
Maybe we offered that guy, but then come to find out our truffles melted.
Because again, it's so hot. It was so hot in Thailand.
Hot.
Miserably hot. And okay, so we get to this hostel we stay in. We end up getting we splurge for a double room. So we have our own private bathroom. We got AC. We're living life. And then either that night or the next morning, we'd taken a shower and I just ripped the curtain rod clean off the wall.
So you're so strong.
And then we just have multiple pictures of me. I don't know if I'm fully naked, but attempting to like put it back up, and we must have done it partially.
Yeah, I mean, interesting that I just took a bunch of pictures of you doing that.
Yeah, it tracks.
Yeah.
And then yes, we did that. But then this hostel we're staying at, Thailand, often you have your rooms, but they're often separated by like open air corridors. So there's not these like stuffy hallways, and a lot of Thailand is kind of like open air in that way, from what we experienced. And then there was courtyards where you could do your laundry. I mean, it was like a tiny little courtyard. It had like this spiral metal staircase. It was really cute. I remember really enjoying it.
It was cute. And I think, a place to do your laundry, a place to like cook. It just, a good hostel is its own reward. To be able to get a private room and definitely to have a place with AC is great.
Because we didn't do that often in the islands.
No. And you know what I was thinking about, like the cell phone? Because some people are probably listening to this and being like, why didn't you have your cell phone? And like, why wasn't it working in 2015? And I think it's like we could have paid for an international plan and it probably could have worked.
I think they were really expensive then.
I know, and we didn't travel like that. So that's why, in case you're wondering.
I mean, because I just feel like often we're just kind of in a state of like being in a place and just kind of vaguely lost. Like that's a lot of my memory of Asia. Of like, oh, we're here. I have no frame of reference for where I'm at now. But like when we went to Europe and we did our big cross-country road trip last year, I feel like I tried to like check out any area where we're going to be. And I'd like zoom in on whatever map app I was going to use and just get like a sense of like where the main thoroughfares were, like where like city centers were situated, where these interesting places we wanted to be were. So I could just have like a general sense of like the shape of where we were at. And I don't think we did any of that in Asia. Like I'll look now these places that we were at, and I was like, wow, that's a really interesting that's interesting geography here.
No, we totally didn't have any like frame of reference. And was I think just going off the recommendations of whoever was around, and even that was probably more my influence because
100%. So before you start reading from our journal from our Asian honeymoon, I want to give our explorers at home a reference for what we're talking about. So Phuket, the largest island of Thailand. Thailand, like the southwestern portion of the country, is made up of a lot of islands. There's just a decent amount of islands around. So Phuket's the largest. And the Phuket town is one of the oldest cities in Thailand. And fun fact about Phuket, allegedly, it's never been colonized by Europeans.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, also...
Is that because the Portuguese were there?
No, well, so,
I don't know. Do we consider that?
I don't know. I think Westerners started to show up in like the 1500s, and I don't think they ever conquered. I think maybe it was like trade was happening. Again, I'm not quite sure. But there's apparently some story about these two really important figures of Phuket, and it's Lady Chan and Lady Mook. And in 1785, they pretty much stopped a Burmese invasion from happening. And so what happened was maybe Lady Chan was the widow of the governor, and Mook was her sister. And they knew this Burmese invasion was going to happen. And so what they did is they instructed all the women of the island to dress as soldiers and position themselves along the walls of the city to give the illusion that they were well fortified and fortified and ready to take down any would-be colonizers. And so I think it freaked out the Burmese, who turned tail.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty good.
So again, this area, again, apparently it's like 2/3 the size of Singapore. So if you have a reference for Singapore, Phuket's a little smaller. So it is a decent size, but also it's like, man, these city-states, they're so small. Like Singapore, Hong Kong, these itty-bitty things.
I know, but tiny but mighty. They're fun.
So we kept a journal during our entire honeymoon, which is probably one of our prized possessions. We should probably get a digital version of this, like take some pictures of it, because if we ever lost this journal, I would be devastated.
Oh.
Well,
First I've heard of it.
Well, I'm
but
just letting you know, it's good to have this, because again, like we said, we could only find like 10, 15 pictures of our time in Phuket.
Yeah, it was and half of those were you in the shower.
So we have these journal entries, and they brought up some memories, but not a ton. Which
Yeah.
I was sad that I didn't get a lot of sense memory from it. And I think part of it was because I think we were worn out at this point. Like we had been running kind of like this month-long marathon since we left Thailand initially. You know, we went to Japan, we went to Hong Kong, we went back to Singapore, we were in Singapore, we did Malaysia, we did all these things. And kind of we were going from like big city to big city to big city to big city. And I think we were just kind of fried.
Yeah.
And I think we were trying to...
And the heat didn't help.
Right. So I think we were physically exhausted, mentally exhausted, probably emotionally exhausted a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't feel like we ever necessarily got super homesick on this 3-month trip. But I think because we were kind of transitioning from a high-paced, semi-hectic, very experiential version of our Asia travels, we were transitioning to this like chill island life.
Definitely. It was different. And I mean, I don't know. I think also there's so much hype about like Phuket, but also just like the islands of Thailand also. And
I was never excited to go to Phuket, and I don't think either of us were because we had heard how over touristy it was.
right. And I think just, we had already experienced that. I mean, I don't know that we've really got into it about our experience in Thailand just in general, but we were burnt out. And so it is interesting to read some of these notes.
Entries.
Okay, I feel like I should just go for it.
Go for it.
I mean, I don't know if we want to read it all, but
Give me some highlights.
okay. This is a highlight. Awoke to be fast at the 7 in honor of Nita, which the 7 is what, I don't know, people we knew in Thailand called 7-Eleven. And we were like, what's up with 7-Eleven? There's so many 7-Elevens like everywhere.
We literally saw them across the street from each other, which, I mean, some of the city streets in Thailand are pretty dangerous, so I could see why maybe you'd want them on either side of the street.
And so I feel like, I mean, I don't know that we've had 7-Eleven like in the US, but we've definitely been to 7-Eleven in Thailand.
You go to eat, you go for coffee, you go for snacks. The one in Malaysia had like a mashed potato machine.
Yeah, 7-Eleven's where it's at.
And then the hot dogs, the 7-Eleven hot dogs, they like cross-cut them and do like these
Yeah,
little
like little diagonal.
Yeah.
I mean, the presentation.
We had a lot of coffee from the 7-Elevens.
We were desperate. It was desperate times. It was rough. Okay, you also have grabbed an expensive taxi to Phuket town.
Okay, well, I was looking at some of these like prices, and the baht ratio to
Baht is the Thai currency.
right. So the
Baht to US?
the baht to US it's like 30. Was it like
I
$1
guess
like
USD.
so $1 like what 30 baht
Mhm.
or something like that. I think Phuket, because it relies on tourism, they were pretty expensive for what we had gotten used to for the rest of Thailand.
All right. So here's something is in Thailand, what we experienced, because again, we were with like a Thai woman and who lives in the US and her Thai family who live in Thailand. And
they're wheelers and dealers.
they are wheelers and dealers, but they are also there. We got to experience like that there was two very different prices. There was the local price and the tourism price.
Which I respect that they do that. It's just hard when you get that taste of what the MSRP might actually be for some of these experiences or things that they are doing.
And so I have a memory of being in Phuket, and it was like so excited to be back in Thailand to go get a fresh coconut, which like we had learned to really love and appreciate. And I feel like there was like sticker shock. Like, how much did you just say that
Like
was?
literally at least 10 times more expensive than our friends were getting them for.
Yeah, it was exponential, and then Jordan cut me off coconuts and was like, "We're not paying that many baht for a coconut."
We're not paying a full $1.
God.
But I mean, that's also a privilege, right? I mean, just the standard of living is so much cheaper in a place like Thailand, or it was. I think that's probably shifted a lot, especially with expats moving into like some of the bigger, more popular areas.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's a privilege that we even get to pay the extra cost.
For sure. And I think like for you and I mean, because right, it was like we were stretching the dollar. It's like so many.
Because we did not. I mean, thankfully, we didn't spend like any money at all for like a month and a half on this honeymoon adventure because we were so well taken care of by these people.
Yeah.
And we exchanged some of it with like, we were working at a school. I mean, we're trying not to be leeches. And so we were definitely at the end of our budget for this last like 3 weeks of this trip.
Mm-hmm. So that's why we had to cut off the coconuts. Okay, so we got an expensive taxi to Phuket town. It has Portuguese history and you wrote, by Thai standards, pretty facades.
Oh, no.
Jeez, Horton.
That's bad. Okay, but I want to go back to this architecture. So apparently it's like a Portuguese style of architecture, but they employed maybe Chinese workers to build them. And so maybe they're kind of like they're not super wide, but they're really deep, like the buildings. And I kind of feel like Malacca was like that in
Yeah.
Malaysia. It was like things just kind of kept going on like forever. It was like, oh, the depth in this place is insane. But also, not great that I said that. I think I just wasn't impressed by some of the places that we had been to.
Well, do you want to talk about Twins? This restaurant next door? We kept writing about it.
We loved Twins, apparently. And again, I don't have any memory of it. But we went there multiple times.
But we had this picture of breakfast with like waffles.
Oh, it couldn't have been breakfast. We would have had it at any time.
Well, that's true. But there was like whipped cream, but then in the whipped cream was like parsley.
One sprig of parsley. Italian curly parsley, by the way. And also a orb of what could have been chocolate ice cream.
I'm going to say, one of our favorite things about Thailand was reading the menus. And yeah, I mean, it's worth it just to go for that.
The insane grammatical spelling errors that happen on some of these menus are just some of the greatest joys.
But probably somebody else helped them make the menu. But
Maybe English wasn't even their first language, right?
I think it's probably that. So, I mean, there's some entertaining menus and signs for sure.
So yeah, at this point, we are probably staying in the hostel in the old town, right? And we're just kind of like putzing around, trying not to die from the heat.
Mm-hmm. We wrote about our truffles melted.
It was so sad. It was just a puddle.
But here's this one, and this is like our first full day. You wrote on a dessert. I thought it said desert.
I also thought it said desert.
On a dessert adventure, met a couple fresh off the boat who were both from Eugene, Oregon.
But see, now I'm questioning that. I don't think they were from Eugene.
I don't think they were from Eugene. I think
No.
that they were you probably went to school and were living there.
Right. Here's a thing for you explorers at home to keep in mind. If and when you travel, sometimes you'll come across people who you'll have like some similarities in common. Again, it was crazy. Like we just kept bumping into Oregonians or people with Oregon ties.
Oh yeah, no, they're everywhere. And they're social and they're friendly, so watch out.
And I remember we were like hanging out with these people and we were like connecting enough, but I think they had some intense things in their background that they were working on. And so you and I think we were just kind of like live and let live. Like we're just trying to like exist in this space. But I think they had some intensities and some convictions that I think they were kind of like putting onto us, and we weren't able to put up any boundary of like, okay, well, bye.
You and I definitely didn't have any boundaries. And I think, because then
We hung out with them far too long.
we hung out with them for a long time, and then they took us to a not so great food court.
And I don't think they were much fun. I think that was the big part of it. Like intense people who weren't much fun, who were around our age.
Yeah. And again, we were beat down and we're like, okay, I guess we're with you guys now.
But then we hung out with them the next day. Like we did something else with them. And then I think they took us to a not great night market. Because I have also read that like the night markets in Phuket aren't that great. Because you can find some pretty sweet night markets in Thailand.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's like a big thing.
But yeah, so again, if you find yourself interacting with some people that it's just not working out, don't force it. Even if you have like shared connections, just wish them well and go on your own way. Because I feel like they ate up precious time that we could have had, like getting into other shenanigans.
For sure, because it was like we weren't there very long. It was only like 4 days. And when you are absorbed with other people, and I think like not even local people, right? It's like you meet these people, and then maybe we were like reminiscing about
things that we had done, but I don't think they cared.
I mean, yeah, it was in hindsight probably more of like a waste of our time in terms of being able to explore this area and have these concrete memories that seem to be missing.
And I think we did a good job. I think the most of the interactions we were having with other people, I feel like it was like 80% local people.
Yeah.
And I feel like 20% travelers.
And I think like Phuket is very popular. And I think, you're walking around and you're seeing a lot of people that are not Thai. But again, as we talked about, like that is like it's a major industry. They have worked really hard to present Thailand as a really attractive place. At one point when I don't think we were in Phuket, but we were somewhere in the islands, and we talked to like
No, this is in Koh Lanta.
We talked to somebody and they were talking about how, you know, we'd really missed Thailand at its prime. We were like 20 years too late or something. Like,
And so
really,
now we're 30 years too late.
yeah,
And it was before like the tourism complex took over, and with that, like, just innate, like, probably social corruption that happens of making everything transactional.
yeah.
But you know, they found an opportunity, and the people of Thailand seized upon it, and obviously it's done really well for their tourism industry and helping grow certain things, and probably helping, like, because like we had read this that like maybe some like cultural section of the government had like was like encouraging people, maybe even supporting people to like go overseas to like open Thai restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, Thailand was like, hey, we are going to bring you here. We're gonna bring us to you. Thai culture is here.
So, what do you remember about going to the beach?
Not a lot, unfortunately. I think because we live at a beach, like again, like a 7-minute drive, I think I don't have a lot of hard memories about specifically Phuket's beach. After looking at the pictures we found, I mean, we just have a couple. I think we've lathered up in sunscreen and put on hats, and I think it did look like a touristy tropical beach. I mean, I feel like there was like sailboats out in the water.
Mm-hmm.
It's on the Andaman Sea, which is a part of the Indian Ocean. So it is very warm. It's a pleasant beach. I feel like there wasn't like a ton of shade.
I know. I think, like, if the sun didn't burn me and I could just be gallivanting on the beach, no burn, nothing, no skin cancer, I'd probably love the beach even more. But I mean, that is distracting where it's like, I mean, that is a very real thing that, and it's like a stress, an added stress to be like constantly putting on sunscreen and covering up. But I remember that the beach was really pretty. You wrote in the book that we reached the beach and got in our swimmies with the crowd.
Which I don't know what that means. Like, did we undress in front of these people? Did we just like show up? Or were you wearing your stuff like under like another set of clothes, like your bathing suit?
I assume that's usually how I roll.
Okay, well, right. Well, I was like, because that sounds familiar.
But, you know, so talking about going back to, you know, being in Phuket and like we didn't do the like iconic rock you're in Phuket picture, but around the same time that we were there, a classmate of yours from Tillamook was in Thailand at the same time, like on Phuket. And I don't know if she was like a flight attendant or
That kind of sounds familiar.
something. I feel like we did not reach out to her. I don't know if we've ever talked about it, but at some point we found out that she was there also.
We weren't on Phuket at the same time. I almost feel like we were at the village or something in the mountains. But yeah, there was like this connection. We're like, oh,
we're like really close timing wise.
One of my 90 classmates is also in this like section of the world at the same time.
Yeah, but so anyway, we didn't do the iconic picture, but she did.
See, I don't remember that. That's interesting.
Yeah, I don't even know where this is coming from.
It's coming from your memory.
It's coming from my memory. That's my Phuket memory.
Okay, so other things about Phuket and like the iconic vistas that it offers. It's been featured in some films, but one surprised me. Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
Wow.
It's apparently they filmed a lot of the exterior locations for Kashyyyk, the Wookiee home planet, on Phuket. So now anytime I think of Phuket, I will think of Kashyyyk, which
started the tourism money.
The Star Wars nerd in me, Kashyyyk has too many Y's. It's like 3 Y's in the word Kashyyyk. It's way too much. Anyway, thought that was really interesting, and I thought I'd share that with you. Also, Phuket has a U.S. sister city, and it made a lot of sense, but also none at all. Anyway, I'm sick.
What is it?
Vegas.
I was gonna guess it, and I didn't say it.
So I thought Phuket and Vegas made sense, but then I remembered Pattaya in Thailand, and I'm like, that makes way more sense.
That's
Okay, so Phuket, one of the other things that came from Phuket is one of my favorite pictures of our entire 3-month honeymoon in Asia, and that was you had these like bluish cargo pants.
No, they think they were,
Were they Prada? Oh,
what's this called? Capris.
Capri Sun.
Capri pants. So past my knee, but above like high water.
Perfect. Yeah.
Great.
You wore them a lot.
I did.
And you took them to Asia.
I loved them, and then they ripped. And they ripped like kind of thigh high. So I was like, I could just like cut these, or maybe I just ripped them.
I believe you ripped them.
I ripped them.
But because you ripped them and you ripped like the crotch apart.
Well, I was trying to
And
make
then like
shorts.
the crotch like fell apart. So it was like a skirt for a second. Did you repair it?
I don't know.
I just remember there was floppy crotch.
Yeah, I think maybe I did bring them home, but I mean, they're long gone, so I'm not sure.
Which is sad because so we, we're on our honeymoon, we're having fun, we're being silly. We are completely naked in this picture, but you have put on the shorts.
I have the shorts on, and then you took the ripped bottom parts.
Those are called the legs.
You took
the legs of the pants.
You took the legs. Hey, maybe I'm sick too. I don't know. Yeah, you took the legs and put them on as like chaps.
They were definitely assless chaps at that point. Thigh warmers. I'm gonna say they were thigh warmers.
We take this picture and then we send it to like all our moms and grandmas for Mother's Day.
It's 2 ass pictures. Your ass is covered, my ass is out.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great picture. / slightly horrifying because it's my naked booty. But yeah, for Mother's Day, yeah, we had a picture. We had a card and said "Mom," M-O-M, and within the O, we had that picture of us, and we gave them to your mom, my mom, your grandma, my grandma.
I kind of feel like, did we give it to Sarah too?
We might have done that.
Anyway,
what's up, Sarah?
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. We're just giving out this ass picture.
Again, the heat had fried our brains. We had destroyed.
Well, we did this when we got
pants.
home. So
well, we made it when we got home. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna say we probably also had just like post. 3 months in Asia, brain fry.
Wow.
I loved it. Would you do that today?
Sure, we can do it after this pod.
Wow. So I just have poor sense memory of Phuket. And I think if we had spent a little bit more time, if we didn't get wrapped up in just like randos, like wanting to hang out with us, I think we could have had like a more impactful time, a more meaningful time, because there is like some rich history in Phuket that we just didn't really take advantage of.
So I mean, what I'm hearing is you want to go back.
I don't think I want to go back to Phuket. There are places in Thailand I would go to way before, and also other islands, because like in Malaysia, just south of this area of Thailand, there's like the island of Penang, which we heard really great things about. We did not go.
I think it's one of those things too. It's like once you're in this area, there are so many places to explore, and like word of mouth. And I think we've talked about it, but it's just like a hostel. Staying at a hostel is such a great way to like network and connect, but also to find out what people recommend and what they don't recommend, and where it's like, oh, keep it on the DL, but this place is really cool. And
I've never really had that hostel experience, because I think when it's you and I, we just kind of, at this period of our time together, I think we kind of kept to ourselves, which is strange. Like we didn't like participate like in the lobbies of the hostel or try to like do any of their mixers that they would do. I think part of it is sometimes we get annoyed by other travelers.
Well, and I think again, where it's like you talk about like lack of boundary, right? Where it's like, okay, if we are exposed to somebody and they I mean, okay, here's something. Like when we were traveling in Japan and there was like a guy
I thought it
who invited us for dinner.
He was a Kiwi, and if you ever spoke to someone from New Zealand, they're very charming.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, this accent? Yeah, let's go to dinner. So we go to dinner, and then I mean, it was just like we were not on board with what we ate, and then like how expensive it was, and then how much we pay. I mean, it was anyway.
He kind of roped us into going to some Chinese or Japanese barbecue, and then I think he just kind of wanted us to like mostly pay for his meal.
Yeah,
which
we did.
That awareness, I think, has gotten a lot better with you and I.
Yeah, and so I think it's just, it's like good to have boundaries. I think that you and I wanted to be able to focus on ourselves and not other people. And I think sometimes, especially me, like it's hard to, so if I'm talking to somebody, it's like I care about that person and I want to like give them the time and the energy and the space. And so yeah, I think sometimes I do have to like really put my hand up and be like, nope, like I want to put my focus here on you, like you and I. But yeah, Phuket, it was you know, it was a whirlwind, and I think it just maybe just wasn't for us. And I think that's okay.
Especially in that time, just any time where something is just being the over tourism, I think, just like kills our souls. The one thing I did really appreciate about Phuket is when we did go to the beach and we got into our swimmies with the others, they did have a sign kind of encouraging people to pick up after themselves and keep the beaches semi-clean. And it just gave a rundown, like some chart of how long it takes plastic to break down. Maybe it's like other items too, and then plastic, it was like, tens of thousands of years, just to bring the smallest amount of awareness to people.
Yeah, which I mean, I think all beaches should have that. We should have that here. And I think when you're an island, but also just like a tourist focused area, and it's like you're having people around the clock all the time coming, and it's like, I mean, I've seen it so many times where people like act really differently when they're like on vacation, right? Because you're like, I don't live here, I don't know these people, I don't care, right? And so you take that energy and can negatively impact an area, especially if it's like a bunch of people are acting that way. And for others, like, this is their home, it's a shared space, and it's a good message to clean up after yourselves, and also to clean up something even if you didn't make the mess.
And that's really great. Something else is like, we were taking public transportation to get to the beaches. Obviously, we took a taxi
Again,
once.
we had to cut off coconuts, right? Because we paid for that Kiwi's dinner, so now we're taking the bus.
Well, we paid for his dinner like weeks before this.
Yeah.
And then so we took a bus at one point, and the bus, I think, was also maybe a delivery vehicle. Because at one point we were trying to also go to the beach again on this bus, but they needed to drop off groceries. Like, they had just fruit and veggies and bags of rice that they needed to deliver. And we're also like picking up other people. It was a strange bus. I really enjoyed it.
I kind of remember like we were standing in the street. Like, was there like a roundabout, or maybe there was going to be a market that morning? It's where we were like
Right.
standing there waiting for the bus. And
Yeah, there was like a morning market.
again, we're just kind of making this up as we go. And, you got to be flexible when you're traveling.
With you.
That's right. Because you know what? It's not going to be planned out and so rigid.
She just gave me eyebrows.
I did.
So ultimately, I think my takeaway was like, there are probably really great things about Phuket if you break away from the major tourism spots. I kind of feel like Phuket in this moment is probably a bit of almost like a cop-out if you're going to travel to Thailand or the islands of Thailand. Like, you can take a couple-hour ferry and end up on a place like Koh Lanta, which we spent like weeks at, I think like a week and a half or something on Koh Lanta, and just have a completely different experience. Way more, I don't know, sincere. I don't know what I'm looking for. But
Authentic?
Well, I don't even know if authentic.
Because I don't even know that it's authentic. When I was looking at Phuket, because I was like, I haven't seen like footage of Phuket, and as we talked about, like over a decade. And there's like videos about, it's like, oh, Phuket's really changed and blah, blah, blah.
For the
and
better,
like,
for the worse.
Well, I don't know. I didn't watch all those, but I did watch one.
You were obsessed with this couple.
No, they just had a long video. But at one point, they're talking about all the do's and don'ts or whatever, all the stuff that they loved about it. But at one point they talk about, it was like, ooh, but then, we saw the locals, and it's like, ooh, yeah, the poverty thing. And it's like, oh, that was disturbing. And it just was like,
the woman said it was very uncomfortable. And it came across like, seeing people living in squalor was very uncomfortable for her, but not in like a revelatory way. Like, just like, oh, you're inconveniencing me.
right. It's like, ooh, like I'm here for like the beaches, or I want to be in paradise. And it's like, oh, I don't want to see that. And I guess it's probably comparable to like traveling to, like Mexico or whatever, all these places. And like, oh, I just stay at the resort, and like, I'm in paradise. You don't have to deal with the locals. And I think that's like a shame. And I think, if you're listening to this podcast, I mean, I really hope that you don't, if you get out there, that you are open to others, and like that interacting with people that live differently than you is only going to enrich your experience and in your lives. And I think not looking down on others and
Being curious about others and not taking pity. You know,
Right,
maybe
right.
maybe this is just the lifestyle they want to have. I don't want to speak for people, but I mean, there is a way to just be like, oh, that's interesting,
Right,
instead of
right.
casting judgment.
right.
And I don't know, there's so much pressure with travel, modern travel, as of 2025, to be like, you need to have a life-changing experience.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you and I have had that mentality about travel for a long time. But I don't know, is that a lot of pressure to put on people? Like, you need to go be enlightened in another country.
Because you can easily go to another country and not be enlightened. You could come back and not be a changed person. You could come back and not be a better person having traveled. You know, you could leave and find out maybe traveling's not for you. But, you know, there's something there about, okay, I think the story that I want to tell is like we have this friend, right, that we started with in Thailand. And, you know, she's born and raised Thai girl, and she is very savvy with her money. And like, so I mean, yeah, you wouldn't. I mean, I don't know. I think it's intentional, right? It's like you're gonna like stretch the dollar, and like that's, you know, there could be something culturally there,
Right.
and yeah, I think just like not pitying people is a good one. Just someone for like differently living than how you think you want to live. Anyway, I feel like you and I probably need a nap.
Why? We're trying to get one in the can.
Oh my god.
So, is there anything you'd ever want to do again in Phuket? Or would you want to go again?
I think if we went again, I either want to be there for Waterfest or
Okay, the water festival isn't a Phuket central thing. Just it's a countrywide thing,
Right.
Just for the explorers at home.
yes. Or probably more accurately, I would rather go and explore when it was cooler. Just a little bit cooler, I think would have encouraged you and I to explore even more.
Right.
You know, when the temperatures are so high, and we talked about like just being so fair skinned and just like it's exhausting, right? Because the heat just like zaps your energy and you're like, whoa there. I mean, I think it would be interesting to just re-explore Old Town and like see, I think just like to actually just explore.
And appreciate really appreciate the architecture instead of just being like, there it is. Oh, where's some air conditioning?
You know, and I think like, yeah, you and I could have like driven around the island, but you know, driving is kind of, I don't know, it's kind of wild out there. So I feel like I wasn't really interested in renting a car, and I don't know that we would rent a motorbike. So
Yeah, we could have like found a tuk-tuk, take us around.
I think if we go back, that sounds good.
So, explorers, thank you for listening to a really poor.
Wait, what about you?
Hey, man, I want to check out the. Really, I'd appreciate the architecture more. I think there has been a push from the officials of Phuket to like push for the old town of Phuket City, maybe even Phuket City entirely, to be
Yeah.
on the UNESCO World Heritage, be recognized in that way.
Yeah,
So I think just exploring that area more. I mean, God, go to some museums.
I know. I mean, yeah,
Get
I
any
would
sort
just-
of like culture, like, you know, understand more about these like two sisters that helped to deter an invasion.
yeah.
And probably just eat more like local food. I think we did have like some good food, obviously, but
Yeah, I think so too. And like I think our spice tolerance is like so much higher, and I mean, yeah, we're
we're burning those taste buds off left and right,
I know.
and all in preparation.
So we're because the Thais like it hot.
We're coming for you. So I mean, that's a little bit for me. Again, like I said, nothing against Phuket, but I think I'd rather go explore some of these other more diverse and maybe interesting islands.
Yeah.
So, and that's it. That's all I got.
All right. Well, thank you for being here in your sick time.
Hey,
And-
and if you got our voice in your ears and you got a little bit of a snuffly wuffly, take a nap. You deserve it.
You talking to yourself?
Probably, because
Okay.
I am not a good patient.
All right.
I'm like, no, I'll make dinner. I got it.
This podcast has been going on way too long.
Yeah, it's nap time.
All
Hey,
right.
do you want to go someplace next week?
Yes, I want to go somewhere in Oregon.
Where could you possibly want to go in this itty bitty state?
The only place the cool kids go.
And they go to Pendleton,
Yeah, Pendleton, Oregon.
which I'm excited to talk about how to actually pronounce that word.
Me too.
Yeah, because it's a hard one.
Okay.
It's a hard D.
Great.
Okay, well, explorers, have a nice week, and we're going to get another one in the can. Bye-bye.
Okay. Jordan's going to bed. Bye-bye. It's got attitude.
How far away are you?
I'm adequate.
Kind of like a thumb. Make a thumb away.
I think last time I was really close and you were not into that.
When we went to Beaverton, you were too close?
That's what it seemed
Too
like.
close to the beaver?
Tin.